What is up, guys? Welcome back to Jonathan Hyman Fitness channel, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys the 3 planes of movement. When I first started working out, nobody taught me this. I didn't know anything about this, but not you guys, because I'm going to teach you. So if you guys are ready, let's hop into it. Takes us to the first plane of movement, which is going to be called your sagittal plane. This divides you into left and right halves. In this movement, this includes a lot of flexion movements and extension. The heck is flexion and extension? Well, flexion is when you decrease an angle in your joint, such as a bicep curl, and extension is going to be straightening it, such as a tricep, which is also going to increase the angle in the joint. And some movements that are performed through the sagittal plane of view are going to be squats, bench press, and quad extensions, triceps, and bicep curls. So that brings us to our second, which is going to be the frontal plane of movement. In this plane, it divides your front and back half. And some of the movements is going to be called abduction and adduction. And you may be asking yourself, what is abduction and adduction? Well, adduction is when you bring your limbs towards the midline of your body, and abduction is when you bring the limbs away from the midline of your body. This also incorporates side flexion of the spine, which is just basically side bending. And you have eversion and inversion of your foot, which is going to be, if you look down at my foot, inversion is going to when you bring it in, eversion, bringing it out. So some movements that are performed, or I should say exercises that you can perform in this frontal plane of movement, is going to be side lunges, side lateral raises for your shoulders, then you have the military press, and you have the lat pull down. So that brings us to our third plane of movement. It's going to be the transverse plane of movement. This is going to divide you into upper and lower halves. So a good way that will really solidify in your brain, just think of like a saw coming and cutting you completely in half. I know, really extreme, but gets to the point. And some movements that are performed in this is going to be the internal and external rotation for the limbs, horizontal adduction and horizontal abduction, rotation at the head and rotation at the trunk. So some exercises that you can incorporate are going to be, the most common is the Russian's twist, and you also have chest flies. And that's pretty much it. So you may be asking yourself, why do I care about these different planes of movements, these exercises? How is this going to benefit me in my workouts? Well, I'm just going to say it straight, tell you guys, you should do it just because I said so, honestly. I'm just kidding, that's not the main reason. The main reason you really should think about this and incorporate it into your workouts is because we don't live in a one-dimensional world. Everything in this world is 3D. So if you just work in the sagittal plane of view, like I was for so long when I started working out, like we'll take my old leg day split, I would do squats, lunges, leg extensions, hamstring curls. And if you think about it, these are all performed in a sagittal plane of view. It's just forward and backward movements. And now that I've educated myself, I understand that I need to work on hitting different planes of movements, such as the frontal plane and the transverse plane. So now if we take my current leg split, I'll do squats, I'll do side lunges, and I'll work on my hip abductors on a hip adductor machine. And this gets the full leg development. So whenever you're working out, either let it be chest, back, think of the different planes that you could be incorporating into these exercises and how it could really help give you that 3D look and help prevent injury. Because another example, especially if you're an athlete, if you're just working on one plane of movement and you come out here and you want to play soccer or something and you need to make a cut, you haven't worked on developing or strengthening these muscle groups because you've just been working through this plane of movement. So next time you're at the gym or working out or designing a program for yourself, really take in consideration the 3 different planes of movement. And hopefully you guys find benefit and find this information useful, and stay tuned for more.